How we going, folks? We're going for a little walk around the garden today because the weather's changed. And look at me, I've got my winter woolies on at the moment. It's about 14 degrees at the moment. So we're just having a look around and seeing what's going on. We're in the woods. We call this the mystical garden. And these conifers have all dropped their leaves from that shock of climatic change that we had in our weather. That radical weather we had earlier on knocked knocked them out for 6, literally. Now they're not irrigated, and not all of them really copped it. You'll see this one here is doing really well, and right in front of me here, another one's doing really well. And I'm paying a close attention to all the new growth. See all this little sprout there? We've got a lot of that going on, which is important. That's what you look for when you're seeing a plant dying. If you've got a plant that's actually got dead wood on it and you're not sure if it's alive or not, get up real close to it, like this one here, and see it, because from the distance you've got all the dry tips. See all this dry here? That's all had it, right? That's gone. That's really just going to wither away and fall off. So all the tips are not happy here, but what we have further back is all the new shoots coming on. Now these aren't deciduous by any stretch of the imagination. For example, this is what it looked like at the bottom. It's got all this beautiful needles, all these needles on it like that, and it shed and fell on the ground there. Now that's a concern as well, because that mats out really heavily at the base, and water will really struggle to penetrate through because the oil starts to get released into the ground, and it's not going to kill the tree, but it suffocates the soil, which then can cause a lot of problems to the plant. So we've been hydrating these by hand almost every day, especially through the last hot days that we've had in the last week or so. This is doing okay. This started to thin out a little bit, and I was really concerned because it's a majestic plant, but now we've got the new growth coming through. So could you imagine with a hose, a simple handheld hose, hydrating it to get the life back into these plants? And I think we've done pretty well considering. Here's another one. And this one, look at this. Wow, sorry, I'm showing you this, but I'm looking over there. Have a look at this one. Give this another 3 or 4 weeks and a little bit more rain. And today's rain that we had earlier on, which was quite a bit of a mist, was a blessing in some way, because we needed the grounds to hydrate, because the grounds have been really dry. So this is coming good. Look at this, the dam's full. Oh, hey, our native ducks. Vader, get out of there. What are you doing? Vader, come. Honestly, we've had a lot of puppies in our life. We've had Jack, he's unfortunately gone, and we've got Kara, as you've met as well. Jack was our Kelpie. Now, Jack and Kara are half human, very expressive. But this one over here is a typical dog. He's a real just good old male dog. Hey, Vader, really, mate, get out of there, come on. It's 14 degrees, you're just a nutter, mate. That's what you are, you are. Kara, don't be so sucked into his habits. Come on, it's not like you, girl. What are you doing, come on. So the creek's filled up pretty quick. Over just one day of rain we've had, that was empty. That was literally empty, and it's just filled up again. Anyway, let's go look at the other conifers. Oh bugger, look at this one. This one's really struggled. It's still alive, but it hasn't kicked in. Hasn't quite kicked in. It's just starting to now. See this? Just starting to put on new growth there, and there's another one there, and here as well. So from the distance, one would think it's dead, yes, and I've got to get rid of all the couch grass underneath there. I haven't got to that one yet, but it's starting to kick on now. So it's taken a lot longer than the other ones to kick on. But this one here, from the distance, cooked. Look at the brown tinge on top. That's sunburn. That is just burnt. I don't know what's in the water when it comes down from the sky, but it hasn't been good for this one, that's for sure. But again, take your time and have a close look at your plants if you've got plants struggling. I'm not pruning this one back yet on the tips. I'm going to let it go because we've got new growth coming on there, and I know this isn't going to work because this is literally dried out, but that's okay. We'll just leave that there, let it push on its new growth, and eventually some of these needles on the end, or the points of these, will fall off on their own. Well, I like to think they will. The top of that's just starting to sprout up again as well. So this struggled. Now, mind you, we did hydrate them as soon as we saw the change in them and all the needles falling down. We started to hydrate them every second day, not every day, every second day, and out here about 2 hours on the hose trying to get it to happen. So we've saved them. They're all alive. That's alive as well. But it was a really sad day when I saw this happening. There was no way I could stop it straight away. It was already in the cycle of dropping their needles, and I just had to follow through with the hydration. I haven't used any liquid fertilizer or anything. Oh, look at this, we've got a nice web here. Someone inside, hello? Anybody there? Have a look, it's gone. We lost one here that fell over. It started over here. This is where the roots were, or the trunk was. Now we had a young fella come in with his partner, Shane. Done a bloody great job. They're tree, I call them tree surgeons basically. They're tree specialists, major tree service folks. Well, he's in our neck of the woods, but I'm sure he'll travel around if you ever need someone who's really a no-nonsense approach and gets stuck into the job really well. So this one had fallen over. He's mulched this up for us, got rid of it, stump grinded a bit. Did he? You don't want to see that. Cut. And this little baby here, well, this one curled over through springtime from all the bloody rain. And you would have thought, because we've got a bit of a slope here, it would have been fine, but no, didn't like it. There's a little bit of life left in this. I had the boys cut that down, and I said to them, just keep cutting back down until you find a bit of life in it. We didn't paint the wounds over. That's something I should have done. It was only done about 3 days ago or 4 days ago. So I've got to seal these over properly and stop it from dehydrating and sweating out anymore. But I don't think it's going to make it anyway. Long term, I think this is just going to come out. If it does sucker up again, I'll be lucky. See, like this here? No, that's cooked. Look at this. Bugger me. Wait, let me just scratch some bark off. See it? Look, it's brown underneath. Oh, very, very little life in that, if any at all. No, it just snapped off. It's gone. Gonna have to bring them back to cut this out completely. Stump grind this one out as well. This is what happens. Nature evolves. Plant life, you know, they're a living thing. And you can sit there and maintain every single plant in your garden to perfection. You know, some gardens are like that. We've got the English box hedging and they always constantly need a prune and things like that, and standard roses. I love them, but I don't love them to death. I love plants that actually produce something for me in return, be it all fruit and flowers, but that don't need that high level of maintenance where you allow them to grow freely. Yes, fruit trees, I'm shaping them to a lower height. That's for the, you know, able to reach, and the mechanical reasons of that, so that I can service the trees. But once they establish that structure, they'll be very, you know, very low maintenance. Whereas here, the birches, well, this one here suckered up, and we left the old wood on it still, just to let it progress a little bit more. We're going to clean this up in winter. We may actually just take it out completely, but I told him to leave it for now because I was pretty happy that the fact that it's come good. But this has to all get cut off, and it's only a couple of limbs that I'm going to take off on this. And all the yellowing off already. It's happened literally overnight. We've gone into autumn, literally, you know, blink and it's autumn. And the trees have just kicked into the new season. Now, some plants are going into autumn, other plants are still putting on flowers. They're in spring and summer mode. Oh, he's quick. Oh, yeah. Get him, get him, get him. Come on, come on, come on. This way, come here, come here, come here. Sit, sit. Good girl. Now, Vader, torment her. Come on. Torment her. That's it. Oh, careful. Get him. Get him. Oh, the water. He's quick, folks. He's quick. He's powerful, but she's the aggressor. Believe me, she'll actually. No, he's submissive. She's the alpha, or the second to me, that is. Where's my wife? What was that face about?
No.
What are you staring at me like that for? Hey, wait a second, I'm shorter than you on this side. I need the viewers to think that I'm taller than you. That's better. There you go, you go on that side.
I always wanted a taller man.
Oh, thank you. Another tree grind here, folks. Stump grind out beautifully. This is along our dam edge. on the wall where we planted maples and olive trees. I was going to say lolly trees, but they're olive trees. You can see Cara down the end there. They're actually doing quite well considering all the crazy weather we had. Drip system, we've got the line running here. And this is the one I was telling you about the other day with the pipes and checking your irrigation so that the filters aren't blocked, because they can block up quite easily. And if you're thinking you're actually irrigating, and if you're not inspecting it, your trees or plants are suffering, and before you realise, they're dying too. Let's have a look and see how they're going. Got a couple down the end there that have actually dropped their leaves. I wonder why. No, this needs to be cut back now.
What's wrong with it?
It's called dieback, bad weather. Knocked it out a bit. New growth's coming through the bottom here, so you can see all that's reacting. All the old leaves have just fallen off. We've got to take all these tips off. I really didn't. It needs a prune. I didn't want to do it because it's just going to make it bush out even more. I'd rather have longer limbs on it. There's too many limbs on it here anyway. I need to establish a structure on it, so I'm going to remove a lot of these limbs and shape it up a bit more.
I like the limbs though.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a big tree if you leave it long. It's going to be bushy. And imagine these ones here over time, 5, 10 years time, when they're this thick, each one's going to be so thick they're going to be too close. So it's nice while it's young, but to get the real large shape out of it, I've got to take all those limbs off, and it'll relieve the stress in the root system. Won't have to fight so hard to stay alive. It's tough as nails. It's kicking on, just the tips have dried out. I can't believe how the creek's filled up again. It's just overnight. How much did it rain? Really? Did it rain that much?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Was I sleepy? I was, huh? A lot? Knocked out zonked. I don't know, I don't remember it raining. And just see you later, Jack. Gone. That's gone. Look at it.
Definitely.
Overnight. Literally overnight. One knocked onto the other one. Let's have a look. That one's yeah. I know. So this hasn't fallen on anything. It's on its own, but that one's already fallen over and it's leaning on the other tree.
Another one?
Yeah, it's uprooted here.
At least it's not falling on this one.
Fun and games, folks. So this is what we've got to deal with in nature, and it's always evolving. And I was talking to Lisa earlier. She was worried about how the plant life, we're losing some trees here and there, but you can't stop it. You can't prevent it. Let it evolve. The landscape does change somewhat. I'm looking at those conifers and they're a little bit dry in the middle too as well. That's a little bit of a concern, but these are irrigated. The irony about these plants now drying out like that, we're talking about dehydration. Have a look at this channel here, right? We haven't mowed here because it's only just dried out. That's how, look how green the grass is in here. This was full of water up to where I'm standing here, literally up to here. So we're talking, it was 50 centimetres, 60 centimetres higher than what the water level is there now. So it was just below the rock line. You can't tell me these conifers weren't sucking any moisture out of the ground there. They were. So whatever's causing these to dry out like this is a concern, because there's not a hell of a lot I could do to these plants now. If I start cutting limbs off, I'm just going to gut them.
How's it been cut?
How's it been cut? I don't know. It's just cut open. I've got to get a joiner and fix it.
It goes that way.
No, it's not going to go anyway. I'm going to fix it. Look at this, another hole. See, folks, talking about irrigation, I haven't turned this one on for close to a year. Haven't needed to. And the grass has been crazy because it's been so wet over here. Now, I've got to get in there and find where the irrigation is to fix it so I can control the leak here. And now we're going to try to irrigate those conifers and see if we can nurse them back to health. I hope I can, because I haven't walked out here long enough. And it's only in the last 2 weeks this has happened. Literally just curled over and started to yellow off. So check your garden, have a close look at your plant life. Some of them might be looking dead, but at a close inspection you will see some new life. Start pruning back, thinning them out. Now's the time to do it as well. Even if it's a fruit tree, folks, if it's gone really backwards during the spring, summertime, don't wait till winter to prune it. But if your fruit trees are healthy, then you can wait for that to happen. If you need to do it, well, actually, no, you need to prune them. I'm thinking about fertilising, my bad there. So don't feed the trees if they're really healthy. Just let them go into dormancy, the fruit trees. But any other plant, go around your garden and start pruning, because I've got a hell of a lot of pruning to do here. And irrigation to fix. Look at this, I can't believe it. Well, it is Tuesday. Tomorrow the store opens again at Coburg. That's Munro Street in Coburg, 21 to 25, for those who don't know where the address is. It's our last 5 days that we're going to be trading there. Come here close. This is my darling wife, if you haven't met her yet, Lisa. Now, we opened that store 35 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, it was about 35 years ago. And we ran it.
Lovely.
We ran it like clockwork for 7 days a week for 35 years. Well, not the last 7 years, but we have been there the last year. And we made we said to ourselves, we're going to do it for 1 year and just get the fillers out there with our followers, our customers, and we thank you so much for your wonderful ongoing support. We're not going away. The store is closing down, so you've got 5 days to come down and grab yourself a bargain on all our wonderful products, our plant life. Vasily's Garden is going to grow bigger and better. We are actually going national as a wholesaler directly to all garden centres. So stay tuned for that phase in our life, that new era in our life. It's a new chapter. But for now, for those who want to grab a bargain, get online and organise your click and collect, because if that's what you love doing, it's going to stop at midnight. So from midnight Thursday, that is not tonight, midnight Thursday will be your last chance up till then to get your orders in for click and collect. After midnight on Thursday, it'll be switched off, so you won't be able to put an order in for Coburg. But the store will be open till Sunday, and I'm not sure what time we'll close Sunday, but we want to get everything out of there. So get yourselves organised. Get your secateurs organised, get your irrigation fixed, and then come down to the store, say hello, and meet us all, because the whole family's going to be there, Lisa inclusive. You making coffee and cake?
If you want.
For them or for me?
For them, of course.
Good luck on that one,
It's all
Ed.
about our customers on that weekend.
I wish you good luck on that too. Check out our website, VasilisGarden.com, for everything you need every
You've got
day.
to get me a coffee machine.
Oh, is that how it works? No, that's it.